folks. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this time. I don't know a terrible amount about the Supreme Court and all that stuff, but a lot of my friends on my Facebook have been, as most people can expect, have been reeling. Not so much my friends, but I mean they have a few. I have a few friends who were a bit not as spastic as the people we've been seeing the videos of as of late, but definitely quite a few people. So yeah, I figured I'd take a look into some, either the Supreme Court or just to see what I guess what makes someone like Ruth Bader Ginsburg a champion and a hero. And I've always thought, it was kind of weird how people regale one person out of a group of 9 as the champion, when they all pretty much have to come up with these as a group. So I guess that's really, I'm doing the research for it. So hey there, Mr. Scott, Richo. So yeah, I'm just gonna start by doing Google searches. I got irate prostate on his way in. I figured someone's got to know something more than me, so let's go with something a little bit more recent. I suppose we'll start with the actual justices. Let's see. I went through a few of these a while ago. I guess we got the people up. I am gonna need a third screen. Holy cow. Criminy. Let's see. Stephen Breyer. Okay, he's been in for a while, I guess. 1938. So he is 62, 82. Okay. Nominated by Bill Clinton in May of 94. I guess I don't really need judicial philosophy. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff on Wikipedia. Hey Becca, how's it going? Let's see. I don't care about that. Nominated by Carter in the First Circuit. Received his commission on December 10th, 1980. Oh, Supreme Court right there. He was part of the Court of Appeals in that time. So... yeah, I just don't know enough about these people to know if they're... you know, what they're... Court clerks described him as the most effective emissary to the court's right wing. Yeah, I sure hope not. Well, my internet's actually really good where I'm at, so I'm quite content with that. Yeah, and I'm hardwired into my own modem, so that kind of helps too. I got a separate modem for this computer. So let's see. I don't even know what's showing. Okay. So I guess Stephen Breyer is considered to be a right-wing judge. So let's go on to the next one. I mean, hell, not that I think that even that shit matters. But then again, you know, that's why I'm here. I think we all know Clarence Thomas. He's got to be the next oldest one. Clarence Thomas. Born 48. Succeeded Thurgood Marshall. Let's see, he was brought in by Elder Bush. Yes. Oh, I just lost my screen. Oh, there it is. Let's see. He's got a bit of controversy behind him. He was allegedly to have sexually harassed Anita Hill. And he passed, also a conservative. So I guess 2 out of the 9 are conservative so far. Yeah, I'm sure she looked better when she was in college there, Mr. Scott. Hey, Costin, how's it going? I'll just say that Becca is on my top tier list of redheads. I can't give her the top spot. Apologies. Okay. So we got Thomas and Breyer. Alright, so let's go next to the list. Samuel Alito. No, that's not Alito. Alito's on the other side. That is John Roberts. I am spreading education, so yes, I am in fact evil today. Let's see, John Glover Roberts Jr. He is 1955, so he's just as old as my mom, give or take. 50, 75. Hey there, Addie. Say, are you busy right now, or are you working? I could use help with the dead air that I've got going on here. I got Irate on his way as well. Let's see. Roberts was appointed in... Alright, I'll send you a message. And it's sent. Let's just say I almost doxed myself there. We'll do that over here. Alright, so back to what's his face? Roberts. Sounds good. You know, I gotta say, I did give a lot of shit to the RBG stands as of late. saying you have a favorite judge is like saying you have a favorite politician, and I've never thought having a favorite politician is the thing you want to do. Like, it's so stupid. It's like I remember when Obama was running for president first term, for the CPAC, they had one of their keynote speakers was a 12-year-old, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen. Let's see. He succeeded Sandra Day O'Connor. Two-year tenure. When Rehnquist died. Oh, that's going to pop up in Alito's. Looks like Alito took the place of William Rehnquist, I guess. Let's see. He is considered Democratic Party had a majority, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I could probably guess. If he was brought in by W, he's probably a conservative. But that's just me going by Supreme Court. I can't really find where it's saying anything. There's a lot of his thoughts on the Supreme Court. Let's see if I can bring this over here. Court of Appeals, tribunals. There's a knock on the door. Hey, Eddie, how's it going?
Mr. Hellcat.
Long time no see.
You. How are you?
Not too bad. Yeah,
I brought my cat. I brought my cat with me too.
Oh, nice.
So if you hear him meow, I'm not mocking you.
No, so how's things been?
Well, that's a different story for a different day.
I take it that's for your Saturday drinks with friends.
No, that was for last night, where I explained why I've been in the hospital for 4 days. But let's not rain on this parade.
Oh, well, glad you're out then.
Point is, I'm alive, and all things considered, well.
All right. So, how much would you say you know about Supreme Court and stuff like that?
A little bit. I know what's going on now.
Okay.
Sucks to be a Democrat.
Yeah. Although it seems like whenever, just in the 3 people I've looked up so far, it seems that whoever's nominated definitely shares the same, I wouldn't say the same values, but is pretty much on the same side of the person who's nominating them.
You mean Trumpian?
Well, I mean, right now I'm on John Roberts.
Oh.
And he is... I'm not finding anything on his...
John Roberts is a bit of a traitor.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, he was nominated by Bush.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. Well, they're supposed to generally be. But
yeah.
John Roberts kind of became not quite what he was supposed to be. He kind of became a little closer to liberal than he should have been. And that's the thing with a lot of them is they don't really tell you exactly what they think.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of guess, and sometimes you turn out to be very wrong.
Well, and it's just like any job interview. You're like, oh yeah, this guy likes me, so whatever he wants to hear.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, I'm not finding anything as far as where it says he is without actually reading into these. Let's see. 2018, Roberts and Kavanaugh joined 4 liberal justices in declining to hear a case brought by the states of Louisiana and Kansas to deny Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood.
They definitely just lost one of, if not the most liberal, though.
Yeah.
I can see what the Democrats are mad because they think that they think Biden's going to win. I don't personally share that opinion, but it could be.
I'm of the opinion that the next 4 years are going to be a bumpy fucking road, regardless of who wins.
Oh, I have no doubt that you're correct.
Because it is, yeah.
But just think though, if you're very liberal and you believe Biden's going to win, and you're like, shit, if she only would have lasted 6 more weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, especially with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, cancer doesn't work that way. It's not like a switch you can flip.
I think she lasted longer than she was supposed to. Anyway, I mean,
yeah.
87's hardly a spring chicken.
Well, even what's his name? The first guy I looked up, Stephen Breyer. He's 88 now.
Yeah, there are a couple of Republican appointees. If Trump wins again, I don't rule out that a couple would retire. And if that's the case, the court is stacked conservative for the rest of our lives, pretty much.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think if you're gonna try and at least make it look semi-balanced, you need to get probably a couple liberal ones in there, but not like someone brushed up against the black dude. Now let's burn a town down. Liberal.
Well, that's the problem with Democrats in general these days, at least in my mind, is there is no such thing as just your classical sane liberal. They're all just batshit crazy these days.
Hey Shio, how's it going? So let's see. Let's go with the next one. No, she's not here anymore, so we don't have to worry about that.
I do believe, though, what they're saying about her last wish, that's kind of gross what they're doing. I
It's
don't really, I don't really believe that a Supreme Court justice, regardless of their political opinion, I don't believe they would say something like that.
I if so, I it's probably just something that. So, I mean, she probably would have liked to have, had someone wait, because she was probably planning on retiring next year. Just waiting to see who won the election, and she was gonna probably retire regardless. So I can see her, trying to push that out. She's probably said something like, and I'm not there, but she probably said something like, "Oh, I wish they would have waited till after the election," or some shit like that. And then they use that as, her dying wish.
Yeah, I could see her or someone in her situation making that as a passing comment, but not as a here's a final wish that I hope you all respect.
Yeah, my dying decree.
It's like the Supreme Court doesn't work that way.
Yeah, your dying decree is worth all the worms that are going to be feeding off of it. Samuel Alito.
Also, if she was that concerned about it, she could have retired when Obama was president.
That is very true.
I mean, it's not like she already wasn't in her 80s.
And had cancer twice.
Yeah.
Oh, cancer the first time.
That's,
I guess.
That's one thing I don't. For the sake of this conversation, I'm going to throw Supreme Court justices in as politicians, although they're kind of different. But
it's kind of the same.
What I've never understood about politicians or anyone, if I hit 70 years old, there is no job on this planet I want to be doing. I don't care. I don't care if it's full of money or power. Screw that. I want to be old and sit in a rocking chair and wait to die, preferably while drinking. I don't want to actually go to work every day.
If I were in, say, who was the last one to retire? Is that Kennedy?
I think so.
Yeah, if I were him, I would be, if I had his age with her conditions, I would be like, punk rock grandpa. Be beer bonging it in the front yard at 9:00 in the morning. It's like, man, that guy's got a death wish. It's like, you're fucking right, I do.
Well, at that age,
yeah,
it's called a release. Is Sandra Day O'Connor still alive?
Actually, I was just onto that because no, she's retired.
I knew she was retired. I just don't know if she died yet because she's been retired for a fair amount of time.
Sandra Day O'Connor is apparently still alive.
Wow, good for her.
At 90.
Damn. These people must not have had any fun in life, seriously.
Either that or they live off of the blood of psychotic liberals. Or the blood of the extreme opposite of where their political affiliations lie. So let's see. Alito is a Bush nominee. I remember this one. I remember when he got nominated. I didn't hear much about him up until just before he got nominated, and then after he got nominated, I heard zero about him. So it was.
If Trump gets reelected, he could shape the Supreme Court more than any president in our time.
Well, yeah.
Because I wouldn't rule out someone like God, what's his name? I'm gonna sound incredibly offensive. The black guy.
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, it's conceivable someone like him could simply retire, opening up another spot because I believe he's in his mid to late 70s.
Yeah, he's 70, or no, I think he's 84.
Oh, damn.
Clarence Thomas. Let's see. Born 48. So 52, 70, yeah, 72. So that must have been. Oh no, it was the other guy, Breyer. He's 80 something. Yeah, Clarence Thomas is only 78, 70, yeah, 72.
I assume you heard the Democratic retaliation plans if this goes through.
Other than Reza Aslan bitching about burning it all down, no.
No, stalking the court because there is technically no limit as to how many you can have on. If they did that, oh, the backlash.
Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't have anyone elected for a while. Well, that's weird. My autofill, the first one is festering cadaver. I don't remember looking that up. Like, okay.
That'd be a synonym for what's her name.
A little on the nose for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I guess, but
I saw a picture of her the other day when she was youngish. It's weird. I mean, obviously, I know everyone who's old at one point in time was young, but sometimes they're so old you don't really even envision it.
Well, and if you look at the picture that is over there, you have. Oh, no problem. Right. Yeah, you have Stephen Breyer, who is old and looks it, but I mean, you have all these people, and then RBG's skeleton is sitting in between Roberts and Alito.
I always question if her mind was still there for this. Because statistically, it probably shouldn't have been.
Well, if it was anything like, what's his name? McCain.
Oh, God. I don't know that he had a full mind by the time he returned from Vietnam.
Well, when your political campaign is bomb, 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 Iran, like, come on.
Yeah, that's not a death that made me sad.
Let's see. Well, yeah, Alito seems like a kind of the middle of the road kind of guy. Moderate.
Yeah, I don't think any of the ones that Bush appointed ended up being severely right. I don't know that. I don't really know.
And say what you will about Bush, like, he wasn't really all up there.
I don't know exactly what I can consider Bush, but I don't consider him a good president.
Hey, Prost. Hey, Ray, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
All right, long time no see.
What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just stuff. Real life.
Okay.
Real life getting in the way of everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand that all too well.
So you're probably more well known than probably either of us on this.
What?
We're trying to. Right now, I'm just doing kind of individual research on the judges, and then I'm going to go through some of the decisions, some of the court cases that I looked up.
Okay.
And then find out, pretty much, what makes Ruth Bader Ginsburg a champion and a hero. Because I mean, like I said earlier, there's 9 people in this court, in the court. It doesn't take one person unless she's the swing vote on every single decision.
If I recall correctly, even if you replaced her with a liberal judge, the conservatives still have one more, don't they? At this point?
I have no idea.
What now? Conservative judges. I don't know if Roberts. I think Roberts is compromised. So
well, yeah, we kind of touched on that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we kind of I have him in the liberal column of my thing.
Conspiracy theorists have a ball with that one. Just saying.
I believe the chat's right. It's 5, counting her being alive. It was 5-4 in favor of the conservatives.
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly,
I would say it's more like 4-4 with one wishy-washy motherfucker that's the Chief Justice.
But at least in terms of did a Democrat or a Republican
appoint him? Yeah, definitely. That was he was one of the W's.
So let's see, Gorsuch, who was Trump's appointee.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Kavanaugh.
40. No, Neil Gorsuch.
Right.
Let's see, he's 53. So he's not as old as the other 2.
I think isn't the one that Trump is rumored to pick? Isn't she only 48?
She's young. Actually, there's 2 of them that are pretty young. So, out of his stack of whammons, because it's got to be a whammon.
Do you think he's choosing a woman just to kind of be like, yeah, we need to play it smart?
Oh, 100%. But I think it would be fun if it was Ted Cruz. I mean, if you're going to get 0 Democratic votes anyway, why not?
Why not shoot for the moon? That's right. Shoot the moon.
Ted Cruz has grown on me the last 4 years or so.
Indeed. Yeah, I feel you. The dude's just a lot sharper than you would think when you listen to him for the first couple of times talk. It's like, oh, okay.
And he actually has a decent sense of humor.
Very fun. He's very funny, man. Yeah.
I do like the fact that he went along with the whole Zodiac killer thing.
Yes.
It's not very often you'll see any politician just be like, well, I would never do something like that. That's appalling.
I need to say something. All right. Hate Camel's usually in on this thing, right?
Yeah.
On this show. It's like, all right, so a couple of weeks ago, he was in my chat, and for some reason, my brain did not register what the fuck who he was, right? I saw the word H8 Camel, and I even said Hate Camel, but my brain did not connect it to this guy. So I apologize if I sounded like I didn't know who the fuck you were. I didn't know who the fuck I was. This is the problem. Right. Just trying to clear that up. I remember shit, kind of.
Oh, yep. I'll send you a link. Yeah, I'm good to go until about 1:30 or so. So I got some time. I got an hour. Just under an hour. And then we got, let's see, Sotomayor.
Ugh.
Who, from what I understand, not a lot of people like her, unless you're a Democrat or a liberal.
She's very I mean, I don't mean to sound sexist, but she's very unappealing looking.
A friend of mine actually, she was doing some law clerking up in DC, and she managed to bump into her. That'd be pretty interesting. That's the story. That's what I like. I mean, regardless of how you feel about some of these things, some of these people, things, meeting these people would be pretty interesting, regardless of political. Hey, Camel.
Hey guys, how's it going? Speaking of Sotomayor, I actually have a cousin who got a photo up with her a few years back.
RBG?
No, Sotomayor, the one you guys are talking about right now.
Right.
Yeah, he's big into the medical marijuana stuff, and he's a lawyer, so he managed to rub elbows with her at some event.
Interesting.
Speaking of the marijuana irate, Trump never pulled out the marijuana card that you predicted.
Not yet. He don't need it, man. He's not going to need it. I got a sneaky suspicion. #landslide.
I hope you're right. I don't know about landslide, but I believe he'll win. But apparently, most people don't believe he'll win anymore.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to, they're still trying to say he's, he totally boomered and butchered the fucking COVID thing up, which has been a shit show because of the fucking, like people like Fauci and stuff, and the CDC, and of course China, like sending wrong information in for 3 months.
And let's not forget them nationalizing PPE.
By the way, I got my first COVID test the other day. Unless you want your brain tickled, I do not recommend it. It's unpleasant.
Oh, dude, I know it goes all. They go all the way up there, man.
Oh
God.
I had one done from my work because since we work with the developmentally disabled up close, they brought they gave us a bunch of tests to see if we can get in there, and then the firm that they used to run the tests was backlogged, so I still haven't gotten my results, and it's been 4 months.
Holy shit!
So I think it's safe to say that I don't have it, and and it was funny because I made a joke when they were giving me the test because my eye twitched. And they started laughing. I'm like, oh, I can't remember my childhood. And the nurse kind of like pulls the thing out and she's like, are you okay? And I go, yeah, it was a joke. Like that, like you didn't actually poke my brain.
You can't touch my brain, right? Without something sharp. God.
But it was just funny how like I said it, and I must have said it in a very serious tone.
And a bunch of those tests will test positive anyway if you got the antibodies for any kind of previous corona type viruses that have been out there, like just the flu, right? If you've had the coronavirus, the corona version of one of the corona versions of the flu, right? That's just the flu, right? All right, you got the antibodies for that in there, and some tests will test positive for that. So, and they'll say you have COVID and you don't.
In my case, right?
Mm-hmm.
After I test negative for COVID, what did they do? But they let me wander around a hospital for 3 days with no mask on. So,
yeah.
What do you think I have now?
I don't think you've got anything. I don't know.
If you did, they would let you know.
No. I mean, I tested negative for it, but I'm saying after 3 days of wandering around a hospital, what are the chances I caught it?
Oh.
Did you just walk around with your IV and shit? Just explore and look at some poor other. I've done that before.
I went for a walk on the street. Boy, did they get mad! I had a guy screaming at me. I'm like, unless you're a judge, and you sentence me, you don't tell me where I can go.
Yeah.
Who would have thought I'd be a difficult patient?
No shit.
You never.
That cigarette was good too, I bet.
Nope, I went 4 days without smoking and it didn't even bother me.
That would have been my reason for going across the street. It's like, fuck it.
Messed up on this one.
Back in the day when I had my gallbladder taken out, when I was like 18 or 19 years old, my cousin actually brought some the herb, and my room was right adjacent to this staircase, right? So we went into the staircase and smoked that motherfucker, and it was the day before the surgery, and the nurse came in, and she said, "Well, I got a sleeping pill for you, but I don't think you need it now, do you?" Right. And then she smiled and winked at me, and I said, "Maybe I don't." It was pretty funny. Yeah. Back then, though, it was, edgy shit.
And Elena Kagan.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about some of that. I'm
General.
gonna shut up and listen until I have something to pipe in about.
Okay. Yeah, this is another Obama appointee.
Yeah, she was never actually a judge.
Yeah,
She was a solicitor general.
The other end of the buffet table with Sotomayor.
Yeah.
Oh, but to be between those two, you'll never get out alive.
But what I think is really interesting looking at this picture of the justices, of course, minus Ruthie there, none of them on the left side had to go through anything like the people on the right side for their confirmation hearings and stuff. I mean, you got Thomas and Kavanaugh there that if you want a reason to never be a Supreme Court justice, just look at those two guys.
No shit, man. They fucked Thomas over bad, and that was right after Bork got fucked.
Well, that was during Bush. Bork was Reagan. I mean, it was a few years, but yeah,
it was covered it right, exactly.
I mean, you pretty much had like one right after the other, and then if you thought it couldn't get any worse, oh shit, here comes Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Move over, Clarence.
Yeah, let's all you were talking about Long Don Silver and pubic hair on soda cans. Well, at least you weren't accused of being a gang rapist, right?
And did you see the little tweet going around?
Which one?
The woman who accused Kavanaugh. There's a picture of her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's another. Is there? Oh, is it like a meme tweet, or is it like a legit, like somebody said something?
It's talking about who Trump will probably pick next, and it's just that woman going, and then she put it inside of me.
Well, I think that's the main motivating factor for the idea of them picking a woman is like, yeah, go ahead. Let's see Democrats, the party of women's rights and all that bullshit, tear down a woman because she doesn't agree with them.
Now,
On one thing,
They compromise their fucking so-called principles. I mean, on a fucking hourly basis. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm with you.
Well, I think it's really just to get it's to get the normies, the people who aren't tuning in every day to shit like this, who just living their lives and raising a family, going to work, trying to make it work with all this, COVID bullshit. They're going to start, looking at like, wait a second, I thought you guys were the ones, believe all women, yada, 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 girl power and all that shit.
Only if you're the right kind of woman.
Exactly.
The big head turner on this deal is the fucking riots. They just keeping going on. They're not stopping them, man. And people, I mean, it's just like he keeps converting voters. It's the gift that keeps giving. So,
but I hope that he nominates Barrett because I want them. Not only will it be about her being a woman, it'll also be about her being a Catholic, and they're gonna. I mean, they're already on Twitter right now. I've seen numerous tweets of people, complaining about her being a religious extremist because,
Well, Kennedy, man, they thought Kennedy was going to be taking orders from the
Vatican. Yeah.
And he's like the Democrat, like crown prince of awesomeness, right?
Well, I think it's going to be
only
interesting.
second to Obama.
Well, it's like Chappelle says when Clinton was getting his service from the intern, he looked at Kennedy's picture and
saluted.
I'm out for it, baby.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting, the contrast of how they treat her being a Catholic. And then it's like, well, wait a second. Isn't your candidate who's running a Catholic?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so did you guys pose the same theological questions to him as you're going to pose to her about what he believes and whether or not he's going to be separating church? No, of course not.
Well, did you hear Nancy Pelosi Sunday say that she went to mass and got communion when all these other people in California can't go to fucking church? And that was when she was in San Fran, when she got her hair did.
Well, I'm shocked that she didn't burst into flames immediately upon crossing the threshold, but
no, there's only
her being a hypocrite about communion and church.
Yeah,
not surprising.
No, there are plenty of bishops that will not give her communion. They've come out against it.
A friend of mine on Facebook, he posted people calling people a hypocrite for hypocrites being hypocrites is the most redundant thing I've ever seen this year, and I'm like, thank God someone said it besides me.
Well, I saw one tweet. I can't remember it verbatim, but it was hypocrites calling other hypocrites out on their hypocrisy. What do you call hypocrites calling out other hypocrites on their hypocrisy? And somebody retweeted and just said politics.
To be fair, though, any political viewpoint aside, if anyone ever looked like they just crawled out of hell, it's Pelosi.
Well, especially with her little good morning slip. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that was, but a reboot in the system as far as everything that I've seen.
What happened?
Well, she was in the middle of an interview, and then
she was talking to Stephanopoulos,
and so and then he asked a question, she answered, and then he asked another question, and she's like, "Good morning," and I'm like,
"Good Sunday morning." No, it was in the middle of her answer to a question. It wasn't he asked a question, she answered it, and then she asked another one. Like, it was in the middle of an answer she was giving to a question he had just asked, and all of a sudden she like glitches out, and good morning, good Sunday morning. And it's like,
bad sectors.
I think that's a sign that you need to leave.
This woman is third in line for the nuclear launch codes. Yeah.
What day was that?
That Sunday. I want to say it was Sunday.
Okay,
it was what's Stephanopoulos on? Is he at ABC?
Yes.
Yeah, ABC, whatever their Sunday show is.
Mm.
But I mean, I keep going. I flip back and forth between wanting term limits and not for these people, because on the one hand, yeah, sure, we'll get rid of Nancy Pelosi, but what fucking idiot is going to replace her in that district?
Well, but think about it though. All right, so we get AOC maybe 6 or 8 years, right?
Yeah.
You can't do a lot of damage in that. If she's in fucking office for 40 years, you can imagine, once they get entrenched like that, you see what Pelosi turned into. Can you imagine what AOC would turn into?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time,
like
is it AOC's fault? Is it Pelosi's fault? Is it AOC's fault? Or is it the people who voted for him? Is it their fault? Because at a certain point, you have to take responsibility for who you're voting for, and if you're voting for that over and over and over again, that's on you.
Are you talking about the arrows and the quiver interview?
Yeah, that's the same interview. She was talking to Stephanopoulos.
Right. Good, thanks.
And why the hell is George Stephanopoulos, held up as like some kind of journalistic, why is he the dude asking these questions?
Well, he's a press secretary for the Clintons.
Exactly. I mean, I don't see why he is moderating any debate or anything like in the past or in the future. I don't see why he's the one that they're going to talk to these people, interviews and whatnot. It's like, you're a cheerleader, dude. It's the same reason why I don't take like Robert Reich seriously about anything. It's like, you're a fucking cheerleader. You're going to change your, philosophical point of view based on who's in office.
Well, Robert Reich's also a midget. That doesn't help.
Well, he's another Clintonite, is my point.
Yeah. What did y'all think about the? This was really interesting the other day on I think it's called Outnumbered, when Newt Gingrich was talking about George Soros, paying for all the DAs. Yeah, man. And
I like the woman who cut him off too. Normally.
Yeah, Melissa Francis. Yeah, but Marie Harf, she's a cunt. I can't stand that bitch.
No, the black lady. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, that's her show.
Well, wasn't she the one who cut him off?
No, it was the blonde Melissa Francis said it first, and then Marie Harf backed her up and said, "Yeah, we don't need to be talking about George Soros on this thing." And it was like, and then it was crickets, and Faulkner's like, and Gingrich said, "I guess that's verboten then, huh?"
Well, Fox isn't entirely what it used to be. I mean,
wait, this was on Fox?
Yeah, it was on Fox. Yes.
When you add people like Paul Ryan to your board of directors, Paul Ryan was not what I would call a real Republican.
Well, and it's also what's his name? Who's the Australian guy that owned the company?
Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, Murdoch. Yeah, his kids are running the thing now.
Yeah, Murdoch's son also is not as conservative as Murdoch is.
Not at all.
But I mean, I think it's hilarious. They'll sit there and they'll bitch about the Koch brothers. They'll bitch about Rupert Murdoch and Fox News, but it's crickets all day fucking long on George Soros.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you care about billionaires, wielding all this undue influence because of their money. But what about this guy? Millions of dollars for district attorney's races. Something's going to affect you way more than any fucking president will.
Yeah, also, Rupert Murdoch doesn't really do anything political. I mean, yeah, you could say, made Fox.
I mean, all his politics is in media. It's not in actual political,
All of his politics are to make money. They're not to change the world.
Right.
Well, I think George Soros is, to change the world so he can make more money. That's the only thing I can figure.
It's all about drinking the blood, babies.
I'm biting my tongue about selling Jews to the Nazis.
Well, I mean, and I've got the interview that was scrubbed, where he admitted to what he did with his uncle, who wasn't his uncle, in Hungary during the Nazi occupation.
I would highly recommend, Irate, you do not play that the week after you got a strike.
I was just thinking about queuing that motherfucker up just to do it. I'm serious. Man, it's like I'm one of those people, man. You fucking tell me not to do it, I'm going to do it twice. I'm just...
Now, see, I missed the last Bezmenov stream you and Becca did. What was it that got that pulled down?
It wasn't a Bezmenov stream. It was this new thing that we were doing. It's the history of communism, right?
Oh, okay.
And it was an old PBS thing from like 1998. And it's from this thing called the series. It was called the Century of the People's Century. and it looked at the United States. It was it's history, but the stuff that I had was primarily communism, going from Russian, and it was really good. It started out at the beginning, how the Bolsheviks, and the whole deal with Lenin, and it was going to go, and then it was going to get to China, and show about what Mao, how Mao did everything, and they got me for that, man, and
for PBS broadcast stuff.
Yeah, shit I paid for.
I can't believe they kept that strike with you.
I was paying taxes in 1998. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a paper route back then.
Paying a lot of taxes. I was working a job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was still in school, so. But that's crazy that you would get a strike for, and it's not like you were just sitting there playing it. I mean, you and Becca were sitting there, pausing and talking and stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's transformative.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, as a matter of fact, in my appeal, I sent them the links on YouTube to two other people that have it up on their website, right? So it's not like I went anywhere to get it. I got it off of YouTube, was what I was telling them. Anyway, that's just neither here nor there now. I got spanked. I got a fucking strike. I got 90 days. I got to be a little slightly better boy than I usually am. So this happened last year. I was on probation. Because I showed tits, though. That was worth it.
You want to hear something crazy, Harriet?
What?
I've never gotten a strike in my life.
Well, you take yours down before they give you a chance.
Well, that is why I take them down, too, because every one of them could get me a half dozen strikes.
That AI, man, that's something else. Chuck Todd.
Oh, what's old Chuck have to say? What's going on?
I'm looking for something from Sunday. Did he talk to Nancy too?
To who?
Nancy Pelosi.
I've not watched any of the Sunday shows in years, to be honest with you. I'll see clips online, here and there.
Yeah.
But like towards the end of Obama's administration, I really got soured on watching any of those hacks.
Mm.
And especially when 2016 started ramping up and it was Trump and Hillary all day, all the time. I just checked out. But I host Seneca is like, old chucklefuck.
Okay.
No.
Do you guys know what
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just trying to fill some dead air in case we had any.
Oh, I've been looking up a few cases that Ginsburg decided on. But a couple are pretty close to 5-4 decisions. A couple of them are 5-4 decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I think, let's see, which one? U.S. v. Virginia. This one was under... Oh, where was it? Gender discrimination.
But I mean, since we're back to talking about Ginsburg and the court, I've been having fun with people on Twitter who've been freaking out about Trump trying to push through the justice nomination. One guy, he's actually responded back to me like days later. It's like, it took you this long to come up with your response, really? Because, well, it started off with a Chris Hayes tweet. He said, the actual rule McConnell announced, abided by in 2016, was that Republicans won't confirm a Democratic president's nominee. That's it. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he's going by a very appropriate handle on Twitter. Is a lost cause. Like, yes, you are. And he says, the only rule that should apply is the rule that this nation has a government for the people and by the people. with the election this close, they should wait until the people have their say and take this up in a new Congress. So I just responded back like, the people had their say. You may remember it as the election of 2016. You know, the president nominates, the Senate advises and consents.
So when's a good cutoff? That was a rhetorical question.
Well, no, because he
very simple. The election date is the cutoff.
He responded back, to that. He's like, well, back in the election in 2012, they had their say too, but they were told they couldn't confirm a SCOTUS pick because an election year in 2016. So here we are playing by the same rules. Sorry, no pick. So I was like, I don't recall the Dems having the Senate in 2016. Sorry. Like, it's not the same. It's not exactly the same. Don't act like this is the exact same fucking situation. Because if this was, if the Democrats had the Senate majority in 2016, you would have had fucking Merrick Garland. Mm-hmm. But you didn't. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the Biden rule? Going back from, Clarence Thomas with the Thomas hearings? Or was that from Bork that he came up with the Biden rule?
No, you're right. It was
Thomas. Yeah. But he's the one that coined that. Well, if it's an election year, we shouldn't. The Senate shouldn't take it up. The people should vote. So, I mean, if you want to say that the Republicans are being hypocrites now, okay, fine, they're being hypocrites now. But, and this is a big but, and you guys were hypocrites first, and you guys are still hypocrites today.
You probably missed that.
I did. What did he say?
Johnny farted.
It said, you said but, and it's a big but, and I go, and it cannot lie.
Indeed.
But yeah, I also pointed out to this guy, I said, it's like, and just so you know, I was like, I think they should have held a vote on Garland in 2016. There's plenty of hypocrisy to go around. I think they should have held the vote, and if the Republicans didn't want him to be, just vote no. That's your job. Just do it. All you're supposed to do when you're there is to vote. And he finally came back to me yesterday with this. He says, they should have, but they didn't. They say these are the rules now, so we need to abide by them. And I like using the same GIF whenever somebody uses we. The Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil just laughing at Will, walking away. We.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it took you a day to come back to me with that, but they should have, but they didn't. These are the rules now. No, they're not the fucking rules. Show me where this is, written, in law that this is rule. Like, this is politics, and politics fucking changes because of the situation at hand.
I mean, if everything else was equal, wouldn't you expect that since we're paying these politicians, they should work every day that they're supposed to work? They shouldn't be like, oh, there's an election in 3 months. Let's just take.
Oh, that whole like let half the Congress stay at home while Nancy and them. I would just we'll aggregate your votes and we'll vote the way you want to. Don't worry about it. I thought that was fucking brazen. I don't know why nobody raised hell about that.
So I have a question. Since Roe v. Wade, this to go off topic for a bit, how many times has it been brought up to the Supreme Court since 73?
Abortion?
Well,
I have no idea.
Roe v. Wade in general.
I don't believe any.
Well, because I mean, a major complaint, and this has gone back from what I remember with Alito and what the hell's his name? I think it was Roberts even. A big, and I think it's merely just a political excuse to stoke the fires of fear.
If you're talking about
well, they're gonna
with confirmation and stuff. Like they did it with Kavanaugh too, didn't they? Didn't they talk about like abortion?
Yeah, they did.
Like they were saying that he was going to take away their abortion rights, as well as being a gang rapist.
Everyone's going to overturn Roe v. Wade if they're a conservative, and I have yet to see it overturned.
Well, and something that I've been thinking about is why is the main pivot, or why is the main anchor of women's rights the ability to kill somebody else?
Yeah.
Why is that the why is I don't get it, I understand the back in the when the nuclear family, and men hit women and shit, and men force their wives to have babies and stuff. I understand, it's not like that anymore. I mean, I'm sure
not only that, but you also have so many options as a woman today for contraception.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that you would need to have an abortion for anything other than like a purely medical concern, like life of the mother. Because when I was, this is how I know that I'm getting older. Like my dad, in his infinite wisdom when I was younger, said, yeah, once you start paying taxes, you'll realize that you're more conservative than you think you are. But
exactly.
And the older I get, the smarter that man seems to me. I mean, but when I was a kid, I was in favor of it was that old Bill Maher joke. I'm in favor of abortion, the death penalty, anything that gets the freeway moving faster. And now I'm sitting here. I'm in my 30s. I'm like, all right, well, I'm sure there've been people on death row that were probably innocent that got anyway. And now that I think about it, women are at least as responsible for fucking as men. So yeah, maybe they should go ahead and bear that responsibility. That's been my biggest problem with the abortion debate. It's like you want rights without responsibilities.
Oddly enough, it's because I'm conservative that I'm pro-abortion. I know that sounds backwards, but I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for however many million more criminals.
I side with Monkey on this.
You're coming from the Margaret Sanger's position, the eugenics position, right?
No, it's not about race, but it is about class. But
no, eugenics isn't about race either. It's it's about population control.
Well, it's simply the fact that a disproportionate amount of people who are willing to have an abortion are the kind of people who wouldn't be good parents to begin with.
Mm.
And I don't want to be paying for their child's prison stay.
I'm going to cite as an example Busy Phillips.
Yeah.
She is, by all rights and...
What does she do?
She's an actress.
She's one of those shout your abortion types.
Yeah, she's one of those.
Yeah.
The only reason why she managed to become successful and whatnot. It seems like Michelle Williams when she was given her accepting speech for one of those dumbass fucking awards they give out to actors. It's like if I hadn't had this abortion when I was younger, I wouldn't be standing here today. It's like, are you sure about that? Are you telling me that or are you saying that you wouldn't have been able to get here because nobody wants a 15-year-old pregger on the casting couch?
I think she's lying because your mouth can't get pregnant.
So was she raped?
Michelle Williams?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so she's admitting she's a whore.
Yeah. I mean, she's admitting she's a slut, yeah.
I mean, yeah, didn't Alyssa Milano say that she would have had
one or two?
Career? Yeah, she's had a couple.
Yeah, she's also gone off saying she has the Rona as well. So
yeah.
It was funny watching her hair fall out, though.
I think Alyssa Milano is just a more attractive Lena Dunham. Just craving that attention. She'll tell you anything. I don't know if she's had an abortion or not. I don't know if she's had the Rona or not. But I'm guessing, if you had to put a gun to my head and said which one, she telling the truth or lying, I'd probably say lying on both counts.
X'd it out, right?
Yeah.
It's also a bit of a stretch to say Alyssa Milano had a career. When you peak at 15, that's not much of a career unless you're a tennis player.
There was some really, really cheesy vampire movie she did when she was like 18 or 19. It was like I'm a child actor and I'm going to show that I've got breasts now. Movie that nude scene was pretty memorable.
To be fair, though, she was good as Ava Save-A-Lot.
She was hot back then. Obviously she's batshit crazy. Ava Save-A-Lot.
She played a character named Ava Save-A-Lot.
Yeah, she did long distance commercials. She was hot.
Oh.
Oh wow. Something completely off topic, but I was scrolling through Twitter. Now I know Johnny's not a big sports ball fan. Addy, I don't know about you.
I like sports.
You like sports? And Prostate, I mean, you're an Alabama dude, right? So I mean, at least some football going on, right?
I'm tired, man.
Well, I have not been keeping track of any sports really this year. I've just been tuned out because of all of the politics that have just the deluge of politics this year. I mean, it's been happening before now, but it's just so much worse.
It's a virus.
And the one exception that I've actually been kind of keeping track of online a little bit has been MMA and like combat sports. I still love me some boxing. I still love me some MMA. And this weekend, Colby Covington, the UFC welterweight champion, talked some shit about LeBron James and other woke athletes in his post-fight interview after he beat Tyron Woodley. And he even got a call from Trump congratulating him on his victory. So, of course, you have the sports talking heads on ESPN who, aren't really talking about sports, but everything, politics in sports now. Apparently, Max Kellerman said without any evidence that extremist right-wing agitators are responsible for riots around America. On ESPN.
Yeah, I like that guy too. Too bad he's a
Those
fucking
damn
moron.
Nazis.
The only time I ever care about Max Kellerman is when he is, at a boxing match.
Exactly.
And even then, he's still a smarmy prick. So, I mean, he's like Skip Bayless or one of Stephen A. Smith. Like, these are guys who never played a fucking sport, but they're making millions of dollars talking about them, and they're talking out of their ass, and now they're talking about politics out of their ass on top of it.
Where you have Max Kellerman, except for he actually, when it comes to boxing, he knows what he's talking about. Unlike Skip Bayless.
Oh,
he used the 93% of protests are peaceful.
Oh, that's adorable. Well, things that were in the last 10 minutes. Let's see. We got U.S. versus Virginia. Let's see. This one was the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a long-standing male-only admission policy in the Virginia Military Institute. That was a 7-1 decision. And then 7-1 because Clarence Thomas recused himself.
So who was the 7-1? What year was this?
1996.
Okay, so we're still missing a judge, aren't we? That's only 8 by my count. Again, I public school math, so I could be wrong, but I thought there were 9.
Rehnquist.
Well, no, it was what's his name? Abstained.
Yeah.
So
Thomas. Oh, okay, gotcha.
7-1. That's 8. Then Thomas
gotcha.
9. So.
Rehnquist versus everyone else.
It's Washington math, y'all.
Oh,
It doesn't
no,
make
never
sense.
mind.
Like I said, I went to public
I was
school,
wrong.
so
I was wrong. It was Scalia.
Mm.
yeah, Rehnquist he concurred with the majority decision. No, at this point, I'm starting to think like maybe we should start rolling shit back. Maybe we should have men and women separate, not working together. Not maybe we should have maybe we should balkanize at this point.
Mm.
Along these lines that the left want to make these issues out of. Oh, you want to make an issue out of race? Okay, go ahead. We can go back to separate but equal, just like you want now. See how you like it. Oh, women, you're talking about all the sexual harassment stuff. Well, guess what? Now you can all just work by yourselves with other women. No men allowed. See how you like it. You don't? Oh, well, maybe you should shut the fuck up then. Or maybe you should figure out a way to get along on your own.
Well,
But
here's the,
I'm getting tired of all of it.
Oh yeah,
I really am.
Here's the 79 Lily Ledbetter case.
Oh, is this the one for equal pay?
Yeah.
That they're still trying to get we need equal. How many laws do we have for equal pay? Because I took a sociology class back in it was before Obama was still in office, so this was 2014, 2015 at my local community college, and a local community college. It's even at that level. It's not just like the universities and stuff, but this class it was social problems. And it was the name of the class. There was no textbook. It was all online research. So I immediately had a problem with that. I was like, well, wait a second. You want me to research this online? Do you know how big the internet is, lady?
Mm.
I can find sources to say that, Shakespeare was black. And the samurai, too. I can find sources that say that Hillary Clinton is a blood-sucking vampire, and they have photographic evidence. Like, I don't think you really understand what you're asking here, because, luckily for me, when I was in high school, I was on the debate team, so I'm used to being on the internet finding sources for an argument that I want to make. But a lot of people in this class, were adults who, had day jobs and didn't spend their time going down random rabbit holes on the internet like I do. So we got to the whole equal pay bullshit, and it's fairly 50-50 as to gender in the class, men and women.
So
and,
I have it as a source that Canada doesn't exist.
Australia too, yeah.
Well, Canada exists, just no one cares.
Hey, Torish.
But
I have it on good authority.
Yeah. A source is familiar with the matter. But we get to equal pay in that class, and all the women, all of them, and most of the men too. Like, oh yeah, women only get paid 77 cents on the dollar. The president even said so. The only two people in that class who called bullshit were me and some redheaded dude. I was like, really? This is who I've got? Me and the ginger are the only ones who actually look at this shit? It's like, you guys do realize if you're getting paid 77 cents on the dollar for doing the exact same job as a male counterpart, you can sue, right? That's fucking illegal.
Well, I actually got in an argument with this on Facebook. I'm like, I think we have 3 technical laws on pay discrimination, and like if and people are like, oh, we're still getting paid this on the dollar. I'm just like, you guys know that's illegal, right? Well, it's just they can't do anything about it. I'm just like, says who?
They can sue.
Says who?
Well, no.
I bet you can throw a rock and find a lawyer who'd be willing to take a case based on pay discrimination.
Yeah,
dudes.
If you could pay him enough.
Oh shit! Is there any kind of where I can paste a link to something?
Yeah, you should be able to in chat.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a wrench.
Cool. All right. Because you've got to see this picture. It's a Twitter link. All right. This is the woman that sent ricin to the president.
Oh, I saw that picture. Yeah.
That is not. It's a man. It's a man.
That's a
man,
man,
baby.
baby.
Holy smoke!
I wouldn't even compliment that thing by calling it a lesbian.
That is a troll. Oh, good lord.
That
The
is
last time I
the
got
bullest
my-
of the bull dykes right there.
I'm gonna dream about that bitch.
The last time I got my oil changed, it was by something a lot closer to a woman than that.
But no, like the best part of that class, especially that argument in that class, because I had a ton of them in that class. I loved that class for all the wrong reasons. It gave me every opportunity to argue anything and everything under the sun. But the best part of that particular class was that even after me and this, soulless son of a bitch to my left were sitting there just explaining to everyone else in the class, it's illegal to pay a woman less for doing the same job. It's, also, all the studies that you're citing, because, they had their own little online research. It's like, you do realize they're adding all jobs together, right? They're not making any distinction between, doing the same job. They're not making any distinction between hours worked. None of this, right? So they're saying pretty much that because a male neurosurgeon makes X and a female nursing assistant makes Y, pay discrimination. Like, no. Best part was, not a single one of those fucks would actually change their opinion when confronted with those facts. Like, oh, well, still, there's the pay gap. Like, yeah, and I've explained to you why it's there. You lazy bitches don't work as much or as hard. You do that, and there won't be.
Well, and the argument I got into is I brought up, I brought up hours worked and all that stuff, and she goes, this gal goes, to say that because women are less likely to what the hell negotiate, like that's kind of a bullshit excuse, and I go, kinda. But it doesn't negate the fact that it's true.
Well, whose fault is it that women are less willing to negotiate, men or women?
Although 9 out of 10 times I have never negotiated a pay. I have once in all my years of working. I've only negotiated pay once, and it's because they wanted to. She's like, "Yeah, I can see about getting you a raise," and I'm like, "Well, how about instead of a raise, I get a boost on how much PL I earn per paycheck." And she goes, "Well, how much do you make now?" And I'm like, "Well, about 4.5 hours per paycheck." She's like, "Well, how much would you want?" And I'm like, "I've been here almost 20 years collectively, so I'll go 8." And she goes, "Well, I can see if I can get you both." Okay.
Again, whose fault is it that women are bad at negotiating? I ask you.
But according to this, I got 5 minutes.
She
left.
says, I can see about getting you X. She's like, I'd rather see about getting Y. How about both? Well, I mean, if you're going to twist my arm, sure.
Let's see. 79.
Another one I had in that class, that social problems class, was the death penalty. And it was hilarious because there was a couple of guys who were taking criminal justice as their major, and so they wanted to be cops, but so they didn't really like my position of no, I'm not in favor of the death penalty. And here's the best part: this was the summer of the Dylan Roof shooting in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of dudes who want to be cops. They're gung ho in favor of the state killing people. And then there's a couple of black chicks in the class. They were really mad at me. I don't know why, but
because you just killed their boyfriend.
But no, I looked at them. I was like, look, because they try to throw him in my face like that was gonna. Oh well, you know what? I changed my mind. He's so evil. We should kill him. Yes. I was like, yeah, that argument doesn't work on me. Why not? I was like, well, think about it. He killed 9 people in cold blood. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, whether or not you give him the death penalty. And the best part is, if you look at crime statistics, there's a good chance, a real good chance, a black dude's going to kill him in prison. So,
if not,
why waste the extra money of going through a death penalty trial when you could just send him into Gen Pop and let nature take its course?
Mm. Not wrong. You know, and there's some dude that wants to get on death row because
I did see that one. I retweeted that story out, and I was just like, well, you know, I'm generally I can see why the prosecutor doesn't want to. I mean, it's going to cost upwards of an extra $1 million to try that case. He's already in for 2 life sentences. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's not going to get paroled. So I can see why the prosecutor would be like, no, we're not going to charge you the death penalty. It's like, but on the other hand, I can also see it's like, well, I mean, if this guy really wants to die, he's already killed 3 people. He's threatening to kill more. I'm willing to oblige him. You know, that's one of the rare cases where like, all right, that guy, you know, he did it. He says he did it. There's video proof of him doing it. He wants to die. Fucking let him. You know, he's not sitting there trying to pull a Shawshank and be like, oh, the lawyer fucked me. We're all innocent. No. He's flat out saying, I did it. I'll do it again. Drop him.
Yeah, if he's willing to take the death penalty, just I don't see why you couldn't oblige.
Exactly. I mean,
well, I'm pretty sure every time someone's convicted of murder and they want the death penalty.
Well, there's going to be amicus briefs on behalf of him, you know, even though he doesn't want them. You know, you're going to have, you know.
Doesn't the system try to say that they're mentally they're mentally off, or otherwise they wouldn't want the death penalty?
Anybody that wants to die is mentally off according to the system, and that's another thing. Like when it comes to like suicide and stuff like that. Yes, suicide is horrible. I would never wish that somebody commit suicide because of the ripple effect it's going to have on the people around them. But if you really want to die, that's your right. You know, it's your life to do with as you please. This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. If you want to off yourself, the system shouldn't be able to stop you.
There are also times where death is the logical choice.
You know, end of life, you know, euthanasia and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, well, take our Supreme Court justice, for example. She could have avoided all the pain and suffering 6 months ago and done herself in.
But I just want to know what fridge they kept her in for 6 months.
It's the cryo tubes.
I mean, come on, man.
They probably had her in the same fridge they got Ted Williams and Walt Disney.
Yeah, that 6 weeks before the fucking vote, she dies. It's really convenient. She died right then, right when everything's kind of petering out. Everything they're trying to throw at the fucking wall is not sticking anymore. You know, even the fucking riots are like, you know, not getting any kind of coverage like they used to be, right?
Do you really think Ginsburg's death is helping Democrats in the presidential election?
I think it was used to motivate them to get the female vote out. I think that's what they were afraid of, is that females are going over because they're scared of the fucking riots and shit, are going over to Trump, right? Because they're all about safety. Remember, women. Becca, I apologize, but that women tend to vote on emotional shit. That's just that's human nature. And I vote emotionally. All right, I don't vote on emotional topics, but anyway. So yeah,
I'm gonna have to call it soon, but I'm going to end it on a rather funny note.
Let's do that.
So let me get this set up real quick.
Dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air.
All right, so let's transition this scene. Little known judge Tadina Cruzette throws hat in the ring for Trump's SCOTUS consideration.
Yeah, I saw that before I jumped on the stream. That's why I put in chat earlier when you talking about Ted Cruz. That Ted Cruz in a wig would be more fun.
Oh my God, it is Ted Cruz.
Yeah, it's funny as shit. Tedwina. Or Tadina, I'm sorry.
Tadina Cruzette.
Yeah.
I mean, at least this is one that I am not worried with the Babylon Bee of it actually coming to pass. Here lately, they've been hitting a little too close to home to be satire for my liking.
Right.
But I imagine that the day that the Babylon Bee gets like a war correspondent and like CNN starts, like the convergence of satire and news will be complete. I'm just curious how long the Babylon Bee is going to be able to keep it going, because like I used to love The Onion back in the day, like in like the mid 2000s and stuff. Now I can't even look at them. Oh, has Snopes fact checked that article yet, Johnny? Do you know?
I have no idea.
They really do like to fact check the Babylon Bee, which is hilarious and sad at the same time.
I will look that up real quick.
And when did Snopes become the end all be all of fact checking? I want to know.
It was during. All right, so here's the deal. All right, they got credence during the early '90s, early to mid late '90s, right? And then all of a sudden they started carrying water for the Dems somewhere along the line.
Now, was that before or after the dude left his wife and like married a hooker?
It was probably before. I think that they became like Dem shills, and during the Bush W administration.
I am not seeing anything for Tadina Cruzette in Snopes.
Yet.
That's right.
No, that's what I think's hilarious about for me. I don't care. I'm leaning more conservative these days. I'm not going to say that I'm right wing, but it's for me. It's just about consistency. Are you going to be consistent in your words and deeds or not? And of course, no politician ever is. So I'm not holding them to that standard because they'll never fucking meet it. But it's everybody else. It's everybody else that's wanting to act like, oh well, I have integrity. I have standards. No, you fucking don't. How many Democrats have been looking back at George W. Bush fondly because Trump? It's like, have you forgotten he's a fucking war criminal?
Oh, the first meme I saw after Trump was elected was Bush looking around the corner. It's like, hey, have you missed me yet?
Well, I mean, they did the same. They put that up when Obama. They've tried that out a couple times since he's left office, but. Yeah, what funeral was it? Was it Elijah Cummings' funeral, where the Obamas and the Bushes were hanging out, and look at George W. and Michelle, they're friends. He gave her a candy, and they're sitting there laughing and having a good time, and it's like, you guys wanted him in The Hague for over a decade. Now he's buddy with Michelle. You're all cool with it because he's not the Orange Man, really?
By the way, speaking of, it's a man.
Well, I am going to have to call it because I have to go pick up the kids.
All right.
Well,
Eddie, Prostate, you guys busy? You want to keep going? Throw this over onto somebody else's channel or something?
I will need to pull out at this point myself. Please don't be offended. If I had
no biggie,
a better reason, I would definitely. If I had a worse reason, I would be.
I've got all of my adult shit done for the day, and it's rainy outside, so I got nothing better to do than sit on the computer and dick around. So I might actually do a stream later. I don't know.
I can join in later today if needed.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull a couple of people together, so it's not just me talking to myself. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to
do that enough as it is.
We'll have to do this again since there wasn't really.
Hey man, if I'm floating around a free and I see that you're doing it, I'll pop by and get a link. Okay.
I was gonna
do in an hour. Like it's definitely a multi-parter.
I'm thinking that I'll go after like Bloodwing and Scribe get done with their streams, if I do decide to do it. So it's been fun hanging out, guys.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah. I'm going to show a little bit if I can.
Go for it.
All right. Friday night, Cream Stream's back. Maybe we'll get struck. Who knows? I'm not going to show tits, though. Who knows? Maybe I will. Sunday, I'm going to be talking with Terry Diamantis.
Nice.
Yeah. And Saturday night, of course, the accelerated deconstruction will be talking about critical race theory and breaking that bullshit down. We've been doing that, man. It's crazy. And, of course, the communism, the anti-communism show, back from the gulag. So that's it. Mondays with Becca Fairley.
All right. And Addie?
I have nothing to show. If you watch me, you're stupid, quite honestly.
Oh, I went ahead and dropped the link for our Discord in chat, and if you want to join in, also, I guess I'll throw the Twitter in there as well.
Yeah, and Addie has drinks with friends, which is about as random as I stream anymore. So.
Yep, I can't even tell you what it is.
Typically, it used to be on Saturdays, but now it's just whenever. So, keep your eyes open. And I have to say, I do. We need to have a roast stream again because those were pretty fun. So, a roast stream we haven't had. Oh God, it was us, Jack Cochran, and.
I wasn't there. What are you talking about?
No, what the hell's his name? Skinner Daffley. You remember way back when?
That's a name I haven't heard in a while, man.
Is he still around?
Yeah. What? Yeah, jump into the wall. That's how you do it.
To the window. To the wall.
But yeah, so I will need to go. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, fam. I'm out too. I will see you later. Bye.
All right, then.
Are you going to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, chat.
All right.